Hey everyone, it's Craig Campbell with Pastor Craig's Vintage Cards, and this is day 8 of the 2 for 22 awareness. 2 cards for 22 days to raise awareness of the 22 approximate suicides that are occurring every day in America by our veterans. And any suicide is too many. We know it's a problem. I've had suicide in my family and amongst friends, and it's just a problem that is prevalent. But our suicide rate amongst our veterans needs to be. We need to have more awareness. We need to provide more for our veterans. So many of our veterans have served our country so well and laid their potentially laid their life on the line for us, and we need to do a better job of taking care of them because suicide and PTSD is a real problem, and I've seen it with some coworkers with the PTSD that have come back from Iraq and Afghanistan, and it's a problem that we need to be aware of. And what a great way for the YouTube community to show 2 cards. And I've tried to really focus on veterans and of our sporting heroes, or ones that have went and supported veterans if they've not served, or have come from a veteran family to help raise this awareness. And you can see right there Bart Starr, and that's his last card. And as I said in the previous video, Bart Starr grew up in a exacting home. His dad was a military man, and it was a very rocky relationship between Bart and his dad. But he was very disciplined, and I really think again that led Bart Starr to flourish under Vince Lombardi's disciplined system as an NFL quarterback. And to read Bart Starr's story is really just tremendous on how he uh, took the leadership of the Green Bay Packers on the field, but yet Vince Lombardi trusted him tremendously uh, to really be almost the coach on the field. And Bart Starr was probably the greatest general when it come to quarterback. And I wanted to show another card of Bart Starr here as we talk a little bit about some of his life. And this is one of my favorite cards here, the 1969 card. And the thing I want to talk about Bart Starr real quick with trauma. Uh, he had a brother named Hilton Starr, and they were running around the backyard with the neighborhood kids playing tag. Hilton stepped on I believe it was a bone, probably a meat bone or a dog bone, and he got a puncture in his foot. And his mother took care of it. She dressed the wound and cleaned it up just like any good mom would do. But he did not get a tetanus shot, and Hilton died about 3 days later, and that really was traumatic, obviously, for Bart Starr to have his brother pass away. But it really, really affected his dad, and his dad, it really, as it would any father, but it really caused some trauma for Bart's dad, and the relationship between Bart and his dad was very rocky after that. So Bart Starr, the trauma aspect of losing a brother and having a dad that was in the military, very difficult, very difficult. But this card here, I love this 1969 card. Just a beautiful card of Bart Starr. I love the green background with the yellow. Just fantastic. And then the other card I wanted to show of Bart Starr to talk about another trauma situation, which they were very open with, is that his son, um, I believe his son's name was Brett Starr, and Brett suffered with a bad drug addiction. And if anybody knows anything about Bart Starr, he was a Christian man, a true man of faith in the public. And they dealt with their son's drug addiction in the public. They were not afraid to say, hey, I'm Bart Starr. I'm a Green Bay Packer legend, Hall of Famer, and I've got problems in my family. And Brett Starr ended up dying in Tampa, Florida, I believe in 1988. And a lot of people at first thought maybe it was going to be criminal or maybe even suicide, but I believe it was a drug overdose. And tragically, the story, Bart Starr, he hadn't heard from his son. He went to the house in Florida, got close to the home, and noticed just a terrible odor. They called the police, and Brett Starr had been dead for a while. And according to the news accounts, he was badly decomposed. I'm not trying to get too graphic here, but I'm just letting you know that Bart Starr faced trauma early as a child. He faced trauma growing up with a father they had a terrible relationship. He was disciplined, had a Hall of Fame quarterback career, one of the greatest players ever. And if not the greatest player, he was certainly one of the most respected players ever. And then to have the trouble with his son and drug addiction and passing away in a pretty public way. And then not only that, but in a pretty gruesome way, which would really cause a lot of trauma. And so I love Bart Starr. I've met him many times. I've had some autographs from him. Just a great man. I've read many books on him. And he's just probably is my favorite role model as an athlete, not only on the field, but in how you live your life. And Bart Starr faced a lot of trauma, and he faced a lot of success, which was very public. But he also let his trauma become a public in the way he grieved and the way they dealt with it. So I just wanted to show you guys Bart Starr again. Just I've got many of his cards, but these are probably my three favorites. You know, his last card, the 71. His second to last card, the 1970. And then probably my favorite card, really, of all time for Bart Starr, this 1969. What a terrific card. Very hard to find these in nice shape, but Bart Starr was a great man. So I wanted to share this again to raise awareness for suicide, and the more we can talk about it, the more we can combat it. Have a great day, everybody. Let's take care of each other.